Alright, I'm going to get straight to the point. Is Wizard with a Gun worth playing? This is essentially a sandbox survival game with base building and roguelike elements. I'd say if you're in the mood for a top-down twin-stick shooter that has a lengthy campaign where you are constantly improving your gear and upgrading your base, then you will have a good time with this one. So that's my recommendation. If you want to hear more about the game, stick around for the story, more gameplay, and pros and cons. Also, sub for my channel for more reviews. Check out my Let's Play channel for gameplay footage. Link in the description to all that, plus my Twitch livestream where I play this. So let's get started with the summary of the story. This is a world of fantasy magic. You play as a mage on the hunt for an individual who is researching forbidden magic. Things turn for the worse, and you end up taking the place of that mage you were hunting, and now you end up trying to save the world instead. Pretty much, the world's ending, and you have to keep turning back time in order to gather resources, gain knowledge, and defeat enemies to save everyone else. But don't worry, you do have your permanent base that is safe and immune to time, so you can try as many times as you want. Moving over to the gameplay section. The gameplay and loop consists of exploration, which has combat and procedurally generated levels, and then base building, which has permanent progression for gear, and various research. Let's deep dive a little bit more into that, starting with the exploration. So you have various runs you're going to be going on, different biomes. You got your basic forests and the desert ones, and then you have like even harder ones like acidic ones. When you do enter, you do have a time limit. At the beginning of the game, you have 5 minutes to explore before the world explodes. You have to quickly gather everything like gears, main quest items, fight enemies, and then you have to go back to the door before time's up, and that's it. You also have lots of gathering, as mentioned. Get wood, stone, iron ore, things like that, drops from enemies, different quests that reset every single time that you play, but a lot of them are progress permanently. Then you have fighting. This is a twin stick shooter, and yeah, the game's called Gun with a Mage, so you are a mage with a gun. You're not a gun with a mage. You're a mage with a gun. You have different types of guns. You have shotguns, SMGs, pistols. You're going to find a lot throughout the game that you're going to craft yourself or find from enemy drops. Then you're going to be kitting them out with different bullets. You got your basic bullets, fire bullets, ice bullets, lightning bullets. And my favorite are the charm bullets, where if you shoot enough times at enemies, they become your friends and help you out through that run, which is very cool. So now let's move on to base building. So this is your permanent safe haven where you're going to, go in there and chill before going on your next runs. Here, you don't have to worry about no timer. You're gonna be building workstations and crafting gear with all of the loot that you've collected throughout your runs. So during those shatter runs, and that's the name of the world, you have the tower, and then you have the shatter, which is the world that's about to explode after 5 minutes or so. You collect gear, you collect resources, then you go back to your safe haven. You have all the time in the world, I get literally, to just build, make new stuff, new workstations, kit out your base, make it look good, get potions and consumables, and then finally the main story of the game, which is progressing through different doors to get to new biomes and fighting new things, new bosses, and etc. So that's the game in a nutshell. Now let's talk about the good stuff before the bad stuff. This is a good looking game. Definitely Don't Starve-esque. While, the Don't Starve, I have the music playing in the background if you don't know. It's from there. It has like a Tim Burton-esque style. But this one, it's its own thing, but it looks so good. This has great animations. It's sharp. It looks very high quality. Next up, the game loop is super addicting. It has a fun push your luck aspect. You can go as long as you want, and then maybe, wait till the last couple of seconds, gathering all the loot you can before heading back. You don't have to push your luck that hard, but it is fun to do so. But after runs, you use all the gear that you got, all the rewards to get stronger, and then you just repeat it and repeat it over again. Another thing I found that was really awesome is it's a pretty good difficulty. Yeah, if you die in the shatter, you pretty much lose everything in your backpack, but it's not the end of the world. Just go in and try again. You decide how fast you want to progress. If the game gets too hard, because as you get further and further, enemies have a higher defensive level. You have to upgrade your bullets, upgrade your guns, attach new abilities on it. Just level up your gear. If it's too hard, level up your gear. So you can decide how fast you want to go, so it's not too easy or not too hard, depending on just your play style. So good difficulty. Next, it's smooth gameplay. As mentioned, it's a twin stick shooter, bullet hell, has very intuitive controls. I played with keyboard and mouse, but I think this would really work on a controller if you do want to play there. They have dodging, which has iframes. You have consumables. You have different range for your weapons, equipment variety, lots of good switching, and it's a fun thing. Next up, I want to talk about the fun world building. I think there's just enough story at the start of the game, and then there's some NPCs sprinkled throughout to set the stage, but it doesn't force you to learn all the lore and sit after cutscenes and hours upon reading. No, it's pretty much there if you want. It's up to you to learn more about the world if you want via the logs and all the building descriptions and all the cool enemies. It's cool. It's a nice looking world. But however, the gameplay comes first and foremost, and that's a really good thing about, like, you know, games like Dark Souls-esque games, right? It's usually always gameplay first, and then if you want, go inside the menu, read all the items, and then you build your own world. It's kind of cool that way. Let's move on to the bad stuff. I played this for a lot of hours when we first played it on stream, and I was addicted. I don't really have anything bad to say about the game, but I will say I will nitpick some things people might complain about this game. Repetitive, right? This is the nature of these types of games, where you just go in to the biomes, you kill things, you loot, you go back, you upgrade a little bit, and then you do it over and over and over for the whole game, pretty much. But I think that there is enough to do, enough upgrades, and enough new stuff, like, oh, new biomes, new enemies, new weapon drops, new equipments. You're getting all of your stuff to get new weapons, new guns, new bullets, and those bullets can get upgraded. It's just a lot to do here. So the game did a really good job. I would say any lesser game, like if this had a little less content, it would get really stale. But there's enough here where there's a lot of progression, guys. So I think that's, you know, that's the good thing. So as mentioned, I think people might not like the repetitive nature. That's just it. That's it. All right. So to sum up the episode here, is it worth playing? Who should pick this up? Yeah, Wizard with a Gun is worth playing for sure. If you are into survival sandbox games, then this is a good game for that. There is a constant timer, which also can turn people off, like, oh man, it's too crazy, 5 minutes and then the world's gonna end. I really did not like that, especially in a game like Dead Rising, where the whole game was like, oh, you have 3 in-game hours to do that. But here, the timer resets over and over again, so it's not that big of an issue. Another problem people had with Majora's Mask, it's the same deal. But in this one, it ends so quick and so fast, and you're able to increase the timer that it's not even a big issue. In fact, it helps it a lot. It gives the game a sense of urgency and keeps it from getting stale. It keeps you on your toes. You know, how are you gonna go through all that? You have to prioritize different areas to go to, and then make sure you're always back at the door before the shatter ends. So yeah, even though it is repetitive, if you think about it, there's just a lot to do. And because it has that urgency, you always have that, you know, that feeling of, I want to do one more run. It's one of those type of games. So hours will pass by fast if you're into this. It's just one of those games. And also, forgot to mention, this is a co-op game. You can play with one other player. I haven't done that, but it's a very, very good game, single player as well. So guess that's it. If you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Once again, link in the description if you want to head over to my Let's Play channel to see the gameplay. I'm going to try to get through this whole game. It's fun, so I'm going to be uploading footage. So yeah, description for the Discord when I go live, and just follow me on Twitch if you like live streams. That's where we streamed all that. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this game, and I'll see you next time. Bye.